Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I hope your day is going very well. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel. All of Drew and Jonathan Scott's most charming and humiliating throwback photographs from Property Brothers. Throughout the years, Drew and Jonathan Scott have enjoyed numerous family gatherings and significant milestones. Drew and Jonathan Scott gained prominence through their HGTV series Property Brothers. They were raised in Canada by their parents, Jim and Joanne. Along with their elder brother, JD, the twins frequently post photographs from their childhood on social media. Drew and Jonathan Scott have established an HGTV empire over the years. However, they were initially merely teenage twins from Canada. The Scott twins, renowned for their successful series Property Brothers, have featured in several other home remodeling programs, including Celebrity IOU, which is set to return for another season on July 9. However, the circumstances appeared markedly different for the brothers throughout their upbringing on a ranch in Canada. Drew and Jonathan Scott were raised by their parents, Jim and Joanne Scott, and have an elder brother, JD Scott, who has previously featured on their shows. In a June 2024 interview with Today, Drew stated that his parents ensured he and Jonathan never perceived themselves as one kid, rather than two distinct individuals. My mother would take me to individual activities, while my father would also take me to distinct events, he stated. In childhood, such considerations are not contemplated. However, in retrospect as an adult, I recall the pleasure that experience provided. From endearing childhood memories to awkward instances, here are the most notable flashback photographs of Property Brothers stars Drew and Jonathan Scott. Drew, left. Jonathan, right, and JD, second from right. Scott, together their friend Brad Jeanette, have a strong sense of Canadian pride. Entertainment is a familial trait. Mother Joanne and elder brother JD captivated attention during this karaoke session from the past. Although Drew and Jonathan were very unimpressed by their performance. If you can evade a wrench, you can evade a ball. An attired Jonathan captioned this image, alluding to the Ben Stiller film, Dodgeball. Prior to departing for Scotland to commemorate their parents' vow renewal, Drew posted this photograph of the Scott males relaxing in the UK countryside during their childhood. "We will be revisiting this next month," he wrote. The HGTV personalities, along by brother JD and their father Jim, displayed their long hair in this photograph. "Can you identify the source of our hair?" Jonathan provided a caption for the photograph. Jonathan discarded his characteristic plaid shirt for a leather ensemble. "Is it not true that women are attracted to rebellious men?" he inquired. Young Drew and Jonathan displayed their formal attire, adorned with corsages. Jonathan stated, "I am not asserting that Drew and I initiated the skinny tie trend, but I am equally not denying that we did." Jonathan posted a nostalgic photograph of himself in karate attire in the garden. "Apply wax. Wax off," he labeled his Mr. Miyagi moment. Drew, right, remarked, "That expression on my face signifies my mischievous intent," in reference to this family candid featuring twin Jonathan, left, and their older brother JD, center. Jonathan, left, remarked, "There is invariably that one child who disrupts the photograph, subtly criticizing his sibling. Thank you, Drew." Jonathan posted a photograph of himself and Drew as adolescent cowboys alongside their parents. "The life of cowboys and cowgirls," he captioned the family portrait. The HGTV celebrities are experts on the experience of perpetual twinning, providing counsel to Beyoncé and Jay-Z, as well as George and Amal Clooney, upon learning of their pregnancy announcement. The most advantageous aspect is that you need to recall only a single birthday. Jonathan commented on this Instagram photo. Drew posted this heartwarming photo on the brothers' 39th birthday. "I appreciate all the enjoyment," he expressed to his closest companion. Drew addressed the initial inquiry that arises upon viewing this photograph of the pair with their elder sibling, JD. Indeed, that is JD's authentic hair. Jonathan may be the family's magician, However, he is not the sole individual captivated by its enchantment. Drew remarked that he is not the sole individual who appreciates an impressive magic trick, referring to a childhood photograph of himself. Achievement: a 14-year-old Drew readied himself for a slam dunk in an outfit that becomes increasingly amusing with age. Jonathan possesses several costume comedies of his own. No shame, all dance, the contractor inscribed under this festive photograph. All three Scott brothers appreciate a commendable reference to their Scottish background. Jonathan recounted, "One of my most cherished childhood memories is encountering a genuine blacksmith in Scotland who fabricates authentic armor and swords. I have consistently been a source of support for Drew." Jonathan remarked regarding this photograph of the twins as children. Jonathan characterized Drew in this image as the malevolent twin who is unworthy of a portion of the cake being presented. Prior to their acquisition of HGTV, discovery of romance, and establishment of a home improvement business, Drew and Jonathan were spirited children raised on a horse farm in British Columbia, Canada. "Our residence was immensely enjoyable," Drew, right, said Pople. "Growing up in our household was peculiar, exhilarating, and remarkable." Jonathan remarked, "Our friends would visit and remain astonished and mute due to my parents' antics. That is the source of our information. We have consistently maintained a harmonious relationship," stated their elder brother J.D. Center, alongside Drew, Wright, and Jonathan in 1983. "We are close friends." The siblings continue to collaborate at Scott Entertainment. Jonathan elucidated that their rural background on a ranch meant that gatherings with pals were never merely casual invitations to play video games at home. Drew stated, "We would all venture out on horseback, engaging in riding or other adventurous activities." In 1987, the twins generated a profit as clowns. Drew, left, portrayed Curly while Jonathan assumed the role of Dimples. "At the age of 8, we commenced our employment as apprentice clowns, a pursuit we continued for several years, eventually earning approximately $50 per hour, stated Jonathan. Drew remarked, "It was chaotic. We were simply seated, purchasing confectionery for all our acquaintances." According to their father, Jim, Jonathan, left, and Drew, right, were exceptionally proficient on the bagpipes. Consult the original article on People. Suri Cruz is demonstrating her status as an ordinary New Yorker by relinquishing her father's renowned surname. Chasing the West. Drew and Jonathan Scott introduce families to ranch life in new HGTV series Chasing the West will shortly premiere on HGTV. The upcoming series, starring Drew and Jonathan Scott, will assist individuals seeking to abandon urban living in favor of owning a ranch. HGTV announced the details of the forthcoming series. Prior to achieving prominence in house repair and real estate, Drew and Jonathan Scott spent their formative years on a horse ranch. The brothers will leverage their expertise to assist adventurous customers in discovering their ideal properties in the new HGTV series, Chasing the West. Premiering on Thursday, July 10, the 8-hour-long episodes will chronicle the twin duo as they assist families seeking to escape the frenetic pace of urban life or acquire land, exploring the remarkable qualities and distinct challenges of ranch living, including acclimatizing to a more leisurely lifestyle, managing livestock, and cultivating crops. The series will showcase cinematic vistas using properties in Arizona, California, and Texas, while Drew and Jonathan engage in ranch-inspired activities such as horseback riding, ATV off-roading, and lassoing techniques. With the assistance of the brothers, each group of purchasers will feel more equipped to realize their Wild West fantasies. Drew stated, "We were raised on a ranch in a picturesque region, and now we are assisting a new generation in realizing that aspiration. The lessons we have acquired and our fervor for Western traditions have shaped our identity, and we would not exchange it for anything," remarked Jonathan. In the inaugural episode, married entrepreneurs from Texas will seek the assistance of Drew and Jonathan to locate a spacious residence with an extensive parcel of land to relish the rewards of their laborious efforts. A couple departing from the Hollywood film industry will seek their inaugural residence and swiftly discover that rural living is not for the timid. On Wednesday, July, Drew and Jonathan will feature in 8 new episodes of Don't Hate Your House with the Property Brothers. The brothers will renovate problematic homes for dissatisfied families, addressing formidable remodeling problems to transform dysfunctional households into harmonious spaces that families will cherish. Homeowners will depend on Drew and Jonathan's insight and proficiency to improve the functionality, layout, and features of their current property, with the expectation that these enhancements will alleviate the stress, worry, and disorder resulting from poor design. The inaugural episode will see the couple redesigning a residence that has accommodated a family for 2 decades. However, with both parents now telecommuting, the layout must adapt to fulfill their requirements for a live work environment. Prior to the launch of Chasing the West, enthusiasts may access a wealth of Scott Brothers content on HBO Max and Discovery Plus, including Don't Hate Your House featuring the Property Brothers, Brother vs. Brother, and Celebrity IOU. Fans are encouraged to remain engaged with HGTV's digital platforms by following HGTV on Facebook, X, previously Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads using the handles Chasing T West and Don't Hate Your House. Additionally, fans can follow Drew and Jonathan Scott on Facebook, Drew Scott and Jonathan Scott, and visit drewandjonathan.com for all information regarding Drew and Jonathan Scott. New episodes of Chasing the West will be accessible for streaming on HBO Max and Discovery Plus the day after their release, starting July 11. Chasing the West and Don't Hate Your House, produced by Scott Brothers Entertainment, feature Drew and Jonathan as executive producers. What is your opinion? Do you intend to view the new series on HGTV next month? You are presently accessing the mobile version of our website. Access the complete site to receive complimentary email notifications and cast your votes for preferred shows.